What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Prodigy Disc. This is the second stop of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and you're watching it here on Gatekeeper Media. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is Hayden Riccard.
Waco, we're here, but different story for the weather. It is cold and a little wet.
Yeah, last year we were in the 70s and 80s. This year we're in jackets, we're in beanies, we're in mittens. Very different story.
And the wind is ripping.
Talk us through our card here today, Hayden.
We've got James Conrad, Bradley Williams, Luke Humphries, and Thomas Gilbert. And it's going to be exciting. They're going to shape up to these shots. I'd like to see what they can do in this wind condition and see how well they can play on this front nine. Checking
in with the Pro Tour standings, the amazing finale there at Las Vegas. Drew Gibson and Gannon Burr battling it out. Let's get into the bag checks. James Conrad going to be putting with the Nomads, his signature disc. Also going to be throwing that yellow and blue Envy, leaning on the Neutron Hex today, I'm sure, in these wooded fairways. And when the wind picks up, going to be reaching for those Photons.
Yeah, as we go to Bradley Williams' bag check, we see here he's got Star T-Bird he's relying on, Halo Mako 3, and also the Whale, and he's also putting the Fireflies.
Yep. As we're moving in now to Luke Humphries' bag, he's going to be throwing the new disc to the Prodigy lineup, the Leviska Falcor, going to be leaning on also a new disc, the 400 FX3, carrying 4 of those. A lot of mid-ranges here with the 750 M2 to shape those wooded fairways, and also going to be putting the P Model S.
Yeah, and we go to another Prodigy-sponsored player is Thomas, and you're looking at mid-ranges, FX3 as well. You've got FX2, even more stability for those shots that you needed on, and also you still have a couple drivers there and there for those distance shots, but also, he's got the Falcor too.
Yep. Also, Kevin Jones' new disc,
yes.
The Reverb. Let's move into hole 1, par 3, 291 feet. Going to have a ripping tailwind on these first couple holes. The best way to attack this one usually is a spike hyzer over the top, but maybe going to see some, up the middle shots with that kind of mid-range, let it lift and carry on.
Blacksburg, Virginia. Let's hear it for James Conrad.
And you can see here the wind and listen to it as we pan into, and we'll see the flag right there just blowing on that tailwind.
Yeah, absolutely ripping.
James opting for the more of the up the gap shot. This looks pretty good. A little bit long. And this is new to this hole, is that there's a border.
Yeah, in previous years, that wall was there, then it wasn't, but we do see it
finally
there.
Coming back.
Very true. Bradley Williams, Texas native here, just a few short hours away from his hometown of Austin. Such a technical player. Excited to see him play in the woods always. It looks like he's going to be going up the middle. Anheuser out of the hand, letting it flex back, and really good correction with that speed.
This looks really good. And that's, you're going to see that throw common today. It's just trying to play with the ground and not let that wind catch the flight plate.
And Luke Humphries stepping up, maybe looking for the forehand line. He is going to be going to that. Yep. Mid-range, maybe an approach disc here.
And gets a good air bounce.
To an incredible skip, going to find himself inside the circle. Thomas Gilbert, Canadian here, rocking an absolutely sick jacket today, keeping him warm. Looked to be a mid-range, maybe a putter in the hand here. None of our players going for that over the top.
I don't blame them. Don't want to risk it with the wind.
Yeah, using that wind to the advantage and letting it carry forwards.
Just needs to get down.
It does skip up as the wind just stays under it.
That's the only issue throwing with hyzer out of the hand.
James taking his relief.
He's got a little bit of an obstructed putt here with the low-hanging branches. Let's see if he can put this in for a birdie.
And a ripping headwind coming at him. And with that flag moving, you're probably expecting up 15 to 20 miles an hour.
It's That wind's crazy. That you have to be very confident in your putt.
And he is. Great way to start off the round there from a
Great
knee.
birdie.
It's a good confidence booster that it is a birdie putt, but then being able to go from a knee, huge headwind, get that round going.
I mean, look at the wind now. For Luke, it's calmed down just a little bit.
Just
Unfortunate
low.
miss.
This will be Thomas for par after finding the out of bounds.
And these
long.
open holes are the ones you want to capitalize on early to set the tone as you move into the wooded holes on the back nine.
Good composure there from Gilbert.
Good par.
Yeah, right to left wind, especially from the higher up that he was on the hill. So we're finally going to get to Bradley's incredible drive here.
Gonna have to take his meter as well.
The wind picking up again. Going to be having a left to right here.
I don't know how that dude was in shorts. Good putt. And Luke and Thomas are going to take the only pars. So we move into hole 2. Hole 2, 631 feet, par 4. This is going to be a difficult one with the water so close. You're going to want to go up the middle with a hyzer flip. Try to push to this area that this drone's getting to just now for an easy, straight approach to the basket. I mean, probably you could go backhand or you can see some forehands.
Yeah, with this ripping tailwind, you're going to see a lot of players even disc down to a fairway driver and let that
Definitely.
wind carry them through. But then the difficulty comes in with the out of bounds long, is that approach can get pushed down,
Yes.
but also can stand up if you put,
Especially if
doesn't
that
play
wind
right.
decides to shift at the last moment. James going with a little bit of a stability on the disc. Just relying on it to get back left. And that's a perfect shot.
Yeah, the river really only coming into play if you take
do
a
the
pretty
big
mean
hyzer.
kick.
I think if you do the more really big flip-up hyzer, it comes into play. Saw a couple people in the practice round go up against that wall that's against the river. But I don't think anybody wants to mess with it today.
Yeah, Bradley going up the middle here. Does get around this last tree. Yeah, it curls up. Going to be kind of on top of the hill there. A little bit of a more direct line at it. And Luke discing down to a fairway driver, I believe. Just with the distance of this and the way this tailwind was playing. Sorry, there's a distance driver in his hand, but you can almost play more of just a straight hyzer. Let it flip up.
Yep.
So he goes outside that first tree. This looks great. Huge roll at the end, adding about 45 feet.
That's exactly what you want. Give you some extra distance to cut it off. And Thomas, I believe, is going with distance driver as well.
More of a lower line here, pretty overstable disc.
Playing for the skip.
Huge
Oh
skip,
my
ground
gosh.
play. What a crush there from Gilbert. It's going to be an approach putter from there, I'm sure.
This is where the touch needs to come into play. Got to get around that last tree, but no problem for Bradley Williams. You see why people go to him for teachings.
Yeah, just absolute touch in the wind, putting it so close. And the closer you can get to these baskets today, not having to bring the putt into worry with this
The
wind
better.
swirling. Yeah. Luke going to the forehand approach.
Just a little bit shorter than he thought, but still has a look for the birdie.
Yeah, similar distance to hole 1. See if he can make the correction. James hitting the bottom of the cage there, trying to ring it up for 2. It's a good stop there, too. That had a lot of heat behind it.
Yeah, I think he was just asking for it to dig.
And all
Simple
of our players
putter approach, pretty much.
able to go to a standstill there. And Luke, here's that wind coming that right to left.
This can almost be a scary putt.
Not for Mr. Humphries. Great correction from hole 1. Getting a nice spin, nose up. And with how close the rest of our players here, we're probably going to see a star frame here on 2.
Looks like it.
And this did come in as the second easiest hole on the day.
Makes sense.
Yeah, the wind being very favorable at this time of the round and just being able to capitalize on it. We'll finally get to Bradley to finish out the star frame. The bag on birdie, always a good feeling. Hole 3, par 3, 320 feet. A couple of ways to attack this. Really the goal being able to not necessarily hit this hill, but hit just before it, slide up, and be able to get close on this raised basket, especially in the wind today. Could see some forehands. There is a line over there, but with how much tailwind we have, probably going to see a lot of backhands.
Yeah, this one you just want to put it close. It's exactly what you do.
So we check in with James Conrad's form, known for this huge long run up, hitting that first foot on the tee pad.
I love that he hops
And
off
that
the ground,
ankle
comes
snapping straight through.
fully comes off the ground.
Incredible form there. One of the most unique and committed, just full run-ups form following through.
Oh, he doesn't change it up to any course that he's playing or how far the hole is.
Bradley, a little bit of a straighter line, needing this to
Just
fade.
left. No problem at all. And Luke going with a fairway.
Just hitting that last tree. And that's the mistake here. If you go a little bit too straight, there is some late ones to hit, but shouldn't be too much in his way to be able to get it close for the par. Thomas going all the way around.
Just making
His
a
last
little bit
one.
of a correction. Almost hitting the stand and skits all the way outside circle 1. I think Thomas, though, if he's feeling confident in his putts, that is a no-brainer for him.
Be on that raised basket, we'll see. But Luke, just a formality. Nice little forehand layup there.
No problem at that.
Oh,
Like I said,
gosh.
confident putt. We know he can do it.
What a great putt there with that right to left on the raised basket.
It's a hard thing to judge, too, from that distance.
And Bradley just low. Tough putt to run there with the headwind on the raised basket. I think they do a good job of this here in Waco. They use the raised baskets in positions, and it makes the hole a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, this one definitely could have been a lot easier if it was just on the ground.
As James, 3 for 3.
Yeah, put it on a show here. So we go into the first hole in the woods on the front 9, hole 4, 441 feet, par 4. This is a backhand off the tee, and then you'll see almost the opposite shot going to a forehand to lay it up towards the basket. It's a tough hole.
It is. It's not because of the distance, but because of the technicality and how small this fairway
also
is.
This green, you got the water right behind it, so you got to be a soft approach to the green.
Yeah, not just the water. We got a whole river following the entire park here at Brazos. And really the goal here is just to kind of make the corner, not really an overstable disc, but kind of a flip up and just a slight fade, because if you get in the woods at all, it is a pitch out.
Mostly mid-ranges to fairways. It's going to be thrown on this one. James a little bit inside, but gets a nice kick out into the fairway.
Yeah, it's going to be about 30 to 40 feet short of where he wants to be there. You really want to be able to beat that last large tree on the right, and that's a pretty good sign of a great drive. Thomas going with a little bit of a lower line with the skip.
Good skip. And the rollout into the fairway. That is perfect.
If you could place your tee shot anywhere, it would be right there. Great shot there from Gilbert.
And Bradley going with a mid-range.
I believe that did get caught up just a little bit too inside there. I was asking it to get down out of his hand.
See what Luke can do after watching those three.
A little bit more up the middle, slower speed
really
disc.
Good.
Even better than Thomas's shot. And that's the key. You can get past that big tree, and if you get far enough there where Luke is, it's almost a straight putter shot to the basket.
Yes, it is. We've seen some jump putts that have made it down far and put it close.
James here with a putter in the hand.
It's going to be a tough shot from back here. I'm surprised. I mean, everybody knows he doesn't like the forehand, but he can really shape up this shot.
Yeah, and just outside circle 2 there with the low ceiling, it's pretty tough to get a backhand all the way up and around, really relying on the glide of the disc, as we see Bradley step out, forehand here. Such a good forehand.
You see that ground is so soft, and it's just allowing skips to go by.
And the difference of where Bradley is compared to Thomas, Thomas able to forehand an approach disc where Bradley threw a fairway driver. Hitting off that last tree, almost ringing it up. That's a good tree, I think. He definitely would have found the river.
Yeah, I think he was going a little bit long. Maybe hit pole.
And just a formality here for Luke's approach.
Oh, this is perfect.
You cannot play hole 4 better than Luke Humphries right there. That was incredible.
Another tough putt for James here.
Yeah, just inside circle 2. Picturesque, but
no doubt. Let's see if he can ring it up from here.
Not worth it this early in the tournament, this early in the round.
It's hard to judge as well how far off and behind that drop-off is.
Great putt there from Bradley from a knee, getting a birdie. 3 through 4. That's a really hot start here, especially as we get into the woods. This wind is going to be not as big of an issue. So we see Thomas as well. But usually, on the course like this where we're going to have, 9 holes in the woods, 9 holes, in the open, usually you're scoring more in the open with the way that this course is designed. But today with this breeze and the conditions here,
it might help them out just a little bit to slow down the wind.
Yeah, for sure. As we move into hole 5, par 3, 264 feet, just a straight uphill. These 2 little hills to get over. Coming in as one of the easier holes, sub 300 foot par 3, but very technical. The difficulty coming when you hit that last hill, you want to just skip up, but if you push too long, it drops off very far on the right side.
Got a weird forward but side left to right.
Yeah, nice
kick.
negative skip, playing into the hill with that overstable disc.
And this, I mean, looking at it on an image, this looks like an easy hole, but it can bite you.
Yep, and Bradley Williams definitely making it look like an easy hole.
Yeah, no kidding.
Perfect shot there as we check in with one of the smoothest, cleanest, most compact forms in the game. You see him land this front foot right as he reaches the furthest point of his reach back, nice and balanced all the way through the shot. And being sub 300, he's still able to commit to his full form, keep his eyes on it. Just, if you're trying to learn the game of disc golf, Bradley Williams is a picturesque of how to throw a disc.
Yeah, and Luke just sneaking up there, getting a good skip.
Looks James discing down to a putter here. This needs to fade.
Sit.
Oh, and he
It
does
gets a
hit
good
it.
tree. I just love, you hear that snap off his front foot.
Mm-hmm. Full commitment with that ankle.
And
Circle's
Thomas
edge.
is hitting his putts.
It's 4 in a row there for Gilbert.
4 through 5. That is impressive.
Birdie here for Humphries as
Luke,
well.
I mean, he's done something in the off season that is making him a lot better, and I think it's his putting, like you said in the press conference.
Yep. Just a formality here for Conrad. But yeah, Humphries' putt, I mean, he said in the press conference over on DGN that for the first time ever, he's really been practicing his putting, which is a crazy thing to hear. But if he's been, playing as well as he has, in the past years.
Without practicing.
Yeah, you put in the time and effort now with the putter. I mean,
it's committed.
It put him on nearly a podium finish in Vegas, and great start here. And it'll be another star frame for our card. Some hot scores. 3 of our players 4 through 5.
So we go into hole 6, 267 feet, par 3. It is going to be a forehand dominant throw, but you got to watch how far you skip. That's the biggest thing. You want to don't skip into behind this green brush that is behind this basket.
Yeah, backhand shapes up pretty well, but it's hard to get a disc to turn that much with hitting the initial gap as well. Mistakes here you're going to see. Yeah, you're hearing the rain a little bit, but mistake here is going to be if you hit early and kick right, you'll be very blocked off.
This looks really good. Let's see where he finished up. Yeah.
Just inside the circle and long.
Step out putt.
And no surprise here to see Bradley going to the backhand. Looks to be a baseline putter.
Yes, it does.
Oh, just early out of the hand.
That's a favorable kick, though.
For sure. Luke has already been leaning on this overstable approach disc a lot so far. Hasn't thrown it off the tee yet. Out of the hand, asking it to beat that last tree, but gets a really good kick all the way up.
Almost pin high.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a long jump putt from there.
Yeah, I'll be short right, but James going to the backhand putter as well. Something special about these left to right shaping shots when James has that putter in his hand.
If you can shape it up nice, it is beautiful. It's been playing tough for these guys.
It's a very small gap. It's one of the ones when you're there in person, it looks a lot bigger here on camera than it is in such a demanding left to right shot. And Bradley with a great recovery.
Maybe close to inside circle 1. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is a fantastic recovery.
Yeah, disking up to a mid-range there to really get that glide all the way down.
James asking it to sit.
Yeah, and Luke definitely not pin high. Was quite short right here. Going to the jump putt.
It's a good half bid to it.
And Thomas going to a knee, our only player with a birdie still on the table on 6.
Yes.
He's got the putter going, Hayden. That is 4 in a row.
I'm loving it. Keep it up.
Excuse me, that's 5 in a row.
Yes, it is 5 in a row. Which is how you want to start on this front 9.
No doubt.
Going into those tough holes between 13 and 15. They're rough.
Good putt there for par for James. And 6 kind of setting the standard for a couple of the holes here we're going to have on the rest of the round. These kind of sub 300 foot in the woods shots that are so touchy. As we move into hole 7, par 4, 429 feet. One of the only holes here on the course that the eagle is on the table for that flex sidearm. At only 429 feet, definitely attackable, but most of our players are going to be going a mid-range, maybe even a putter. Backhand, just trying to get to that open area to be able to have a straight look at the basket there across the gully.
I think the eagle today is going to be tough to get to.
More common shot here, asking for it to get left, and it does. And if you push too far left, if you throw maybe too fast of a disc, you can get pinched off there on the left side with 0 look. The slower the disc, the better here off the tee if you're going backhand.
This needs to get left. It's out, but it's still going to be a distance to reach the pin.
Yeah, probably about 280 to 300 from there. And our card kind of struggling to get off the tee here on 7. See if James can make the correction.
He does. Walks away knowing it's in a good spot. No problem at all from that spot. See Bradley here. Going with the putter approach. This looks really good if it can sit and hold against that hill. Yes.
Almost ringing it up for 2. And you can hear him asking, when you're on that right side, it's pretty blind to,
it's hard
to where
to
you're
see.
at. Luke from a similar position going forehand. Oh, this needs to go.
That wind pushed it really quick to the right side.
Yeah, the tailwind making everything just a little bit more overstable and pushing it down. And James going putter here, I believe, on the par 4.
Oof.
Sound like it hit those stairs,
putt.
yeah. Thomas able to go jump putt if that fades back.
Oof. That was so close to being on the right line.
Out of the hand there, you hear someone yell, "Do it!" And now a completely opposite wind. Pretty scary putt here.
No problem for him. Grabs the birdie. And he is 6 down through 7.
6 in a row. Catches high right there for the birdie for James. We're going to be looking at another star frame if Luke has a look.
Hopefully he's got some good footing over on that edge.
Yeah, using that marker to his advantage. Really taking his time. I mean, this inside 15 feet, but just such brutal conditions out here today. No putt taken for granted.
Oh, no.
And Bradley landed himself in the bullseye there to finish out star frame on 7.
Good birdie putt again. Let's go into hole 8, 213 feet. It's going to be more of a straight shot up to this gap, trying to just put it close, but off to the right. If you get a bad kick, you're going to be looking at an uphill putt.
Yeah, bad kick or long.
Or, yes.
You're very
long
obstructed.
Is super common.
Forehand here is
stand still.
Yeah, a little bit easier at only 213 feet. Ah.
That's the mistake you don't want to do.
Yep. The backhand here, really just having to throw it pretty much into the ground and let it slide up.
Just slide on that ground level and just scoot up along there. It's 213 feet.
Early out of the hand for Bradley as well.
You got to think that their hands and the weather is affecting this of early release to late release. So it's going to be coming into effect. I mean, we'll see what this hole played as difficulty in a moment. And Luke with the forehand just needs to sit.
Thinking it was going to catch an edge and maybe get high enough, but even then, I mean, he's found
Still
himself
in range
circle's
for a
edge.
birdie.
Yeah. James going to the backhand here, no surprise. Yep, going long, going to be a little bit obstructed. And this is where this hole gets very difficult. These approaches so short, it's like not a really full throw.
Oof, what was that kick?
Right?
You hear James thinking it was going to ramp in.
It was close.
Look at this. What Thomas has is not much. Good second kick.
He's got that range.
Yeah. Puts him to circle's edge on that second kick, but
not a fun putt.
Not at all.
Almost had it.
Man, and after 6
And
in a
that's
row.
his first mistake.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd take that mistake. I mean, I wouldn't be happy, but there could have been a lot worse.
James after a great drive. Oh, and just a complete misrelease.
Out of his hand, he says no.
And really the first time this round we've seen the flag not moving.
Yeah.
James having to putt again.
Come on, James.
Such a rare miss here from James. Gonna be looking at a bogey. Not a player I don't think ever seen on coverage 3-putt.
Not often. I can't recall. And Luke taking the stroke and getting the birdie from down below.
He'll be taking a stroke, if not a few, on the entire card
Yes, he
here.
will. Bradley with a par as well.
And Thomas and James going to be looking at the bogey here. Such different ways to find a stroke over par for these two players. And Thomas hitting early, and James just having some issues on the putting green. Pretty rare.
Unfortunate. Maybe it was the jacket just messing with his timing, reach back.
Yep.
Who knows?
So we move into our final hole here on the front 9. Par 4, 519 feet. The goal here is going to be able to make through these gaps and really get to the bowl. As this kind of drops down, speed control is a really difficult thing to do here, and not skip long into the bushes there on the left. Set yourself up for hopefully a pretty straight shot left to right here at the end.
But this
to be able
is
to
not
approach.
an easy hole.
No.
It's never been.
Coming in as the 3rd most difficult hole on the day. Yeah, it's kind of, if you're a backhand dominant player, it's that maybe a mid-range, just trying to shape it, but distance control is so important off the tee.
If this gets through, it could be in a decent spot.
It took an early kick and maybe pushed it forwards, ran out of frame there.
I wanted to go back and look at how his form came through that pull.
Mm-hmm.
He had more anhyzer at the beginning of it as he was pulling through to that release.
Bradley taking a
Wow.
very interesting early kick. It's going to be difficult from over there. Maybe something, but most likely going to be a pitch out with how thick you can see just past Thomas how thick the rough is here at the Beast. Thomas going fairway driver here off the tee. That needs to hit something.
That's all right. I mean, that's a par.
Maybe asking for a little bit more anhyzer.
It hit that tree and right out of his mouth he said, well, that's a par. So realizing it was just a little bit off. James to try to find that perfect spot.
Ooh.
Staying clean. Just catching the last one, but I mean, not getting all the way to the bottom, but going to have the best look as we see Luke in trouble.
He's got everything of 400 left, too.
Oh, yeah. Trying to accomplish what he was trying to do off the tee. Another kick, still not to the bowl.
Bradley having to go to the forehand roller to get out.
Curling up a little early, but he'll have a pretty clean look, as clean goes here on 9, towards the basket, trying to save that par. Luke still in the trees.
Ooh,
This is a touchy shot.
nice shot.
That's the best as you could probably do from that angle.
Yeah,
that he
gonna
was
put
stuck
him
in.
Edge of circle 2, but that was a great shape out of the hand. Thomas with a similar line. And just catching
And you
that
can see
last
how
little hill.
far that distance is that you need to get around that turn.
Yeah, once you make the turn, I mean, it's a good 150 feet. This Bradley's got
So
a
going
pretty,
above.
either above or a roller. It's a fast disc in the
He's
hand.
looking high.
Oh, my goodness,
Okay,
Bradley
so he's
Williams.
going above Anheuser.
And that's going to put him circle's
mean-
edge.
Why not when you have it?
What a shot. James looking high as well here. Now staying low.
Nice change, nice change.
That'll put him circle's edge as well, but my goodness, what a shot from Bradley Williams there.
Just textbook forehand approach here for Luke.
Still a little bit here for Thomas. Yeah, and if you're just a little bit off on here on 9, I mean, it's going to a knee. It's thrown over the top. It's forehand roller, and that's just to save par. I mean,
It's just scrambling. And that's what you got to do. It's just scramble.
yeah, with 53%. Oh,
Oh,
almost.
James almost did it.
Yeah, 53% of the field here in round 1 over par on hole 9. Just 2% parked there on the upshot. Oh, and after the great over the top, just high for Bradley.
James able to clean up his par. With only one mistake, really, that's not too bad. 4 down through 9 holes. Still some holes that are going to be difficult for him, but it's James.
As Luke Humphries finds his first bogey of the front 9. Bradley looking at one as well. I mean, hole 9 showing its teeth, and I mean, that's the reason why it is coming in, almost a full stroke over
difficult.
par. Yeah. Let's check in with our card after the 9 holes. -5 there for Thomas, getting 6 in a row, holes 2 through 7. Absolutely incredible, unfortunate bogey there. But the rest of our card, not far behind.
No.
Kind of setting the pace. Let's check in with the leaderboard, kind of what's going on here on the day.
Yeah, you got Nicholas Carl. He's through 14, 9 under. That is impressive.
Yeah, another one, Scott Stokely, back on tour this year.
A legend.
Yes, awesome to see his name there at the top. But, we've talked about it already, but the difficulty coming on this back 9
Yes.
is where it really shapes up. We're going to be hitting the holes 13 through 16 where you're going to be going into the headwind, but still a couple wooded holes to go. Gosh, the front 9, so much more scoreable than expected.
Yeah, it's all, I think, due to the weather. I believe in the next couple rounds we'll see a lot lower scores. So we'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me has been Hayden Riccard. Be sure to like and subscribe here at Gatekeeper Media, and we will see you real soon for the back 9 here in Waco.